Hello my friends, welcome to Painting with Harold, and I am Harold. And tonight we have a 16 by 20 oval canvas that is already covered with a thin even coat of liquid white. And my colors are going to be titanium white, dark sienna, Van Dyke brown, sap green, cad yellow, yellow ochre, Indian yellow, and the evil bright red. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to paint tonight. If you saw the painting that I did yesterday, I went and watched that painting, and there at one point in that painting, I got to looking at that sky and how pretty it was, and then I went and covered everything up. And oh my God, I felt like kicking my own butt. It was so pretty at one point that I really hated covering that up. So I thought about maybe trying to duplicate that sky with maybe a different foreground. I know I'll never get that sky the same as what I had it yesterday, but I thought we'd give it a shot and see what we could do. I think tonight I'm going to be using a few smaller brushes. I got a 2-inch brush out just in case. But I got a bunch of 1-inch brushes out and some fan brushes, filbert. And then of course I got all my little brushes that I use from time to time. Also, I wanted to ask a question before we get started. I'm thinking about doing a series of mistakes. Like you always hear YouTube painters or painters on TV that are painting, and they'll tell you, and this is just an example, the one where I say don't kill all the dark. I think it'd be good to show you what happens if you do kill all the dark. I think it'd also be good to show you when I'm touching those bushes and I say don't let it slide, it'll smear. I thought about doing stuff like that, in just little series, maybe 10-15 minutes long, just to show what will happen if you accidentally mess up, and how you can go back and fix it. If that's something y'all be interested in watching, just comment that you'd like to see it, and I'd be more than glad to do it. I can do it on a 16 by 20 canvas and section it off to where we can do a couple mistakes and repairs on one canvas, and then I can brush it down and clean it up and come back and do some more mistakes on it, and just make them kind of shorter videos to show you what can happen if you make a mistake and how to go about fixing it. So like I said, just leave me a comment if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. All right, with that said, I think we're going to dive in tonight, and I'm going to go right in to my cad yellow. I'm going to pull a little out, put on my brush, and I am using the 1-inch brush here. If you're painting along with me, if not, and you decide you want to paint this painting, you do not have to use this type of canvas. The reason I'm using this type of canvas is my wife went to Hobby Lobby yesterday, and she picked this one up and a couple more for me, and she wanted me to paint something on this one, and she wouldn't tell me what. She just said something pretty. So I'm going to try to not let her down. But I'm going to start right here. And I'm just going to come up here with a little yellow. Just make a little yellow spot in the sky. About like that. And then I'll tap some of that color out on a napkin. And I'll come right into a little Indian yellow. Tap a little of that on the brush. Then I'll come up here and I'll go around it with the Indian yellow, just like so. Just using the little X strokes. Then I'll tap some of that out on the brush. Then I'll come into some yellow ochre. Same brush. Haven't cleaned brushes yet. Then I'll come out here with the yellow ochre and just work it around. and the little X strokes, just like so. And then I will come into some dark sienna, just a little, tap it onto the brush. I'll come up here and I'll work it around, just like so. Just using little X strokes, bring it around. And then I will go into some Van Dyke Brown and tap it right on the brush. And we'll bring the Van Dyke, whoa, that's sap green. We don't want to do that. Oh, wow. That's Van Dyke Brown. All right, we got to fix that. All right, in order to fix that, wow, how did I do that? I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna wipe this sap green off, just like so. And then I think what I'll do is, I'll mix a little dark sienna and a little Van Dyke Brown together to make it darker. Then we'll come back up here. Then we'll end up with a darker color out here, like so. Well, that didn't hurt us too bad. We okay. That was about a rookie mistake right there, though. Not knowing what color is what. And we'll come out here a little more and just run it off the canvas like so. Well, y'all seen it happen. I can't even lie and say I didn't do it, because y'all seen it happen. So, alright, we'll level this out across here, not like so. Alright, we'll put that brush in the thinner. Then I will pick up another 1-inch brush, and I'll go straight into the titanium white. Tap it right on the brush, and I'll come right up here in our yellow, and I'll just start working out with those X strokes. And I want to stay out of the middle this time. When I get out here in these colors and go to picking up these darker colors, don't want to carry those colors back to the middle. That's one thing you don't want to do. So just come in here and softly blend them out, just like so. And then I'll get ready to wash that brush. Then I'll come back and I'll go into, with my 2-inch brush this time, I'll go right back into the titanium white again, and I'll come up here this time and I'll work out again. Just be careful not to take that brush back into the center. See, like right now would be a good time to show you what would happen if you did that. Not in this painting, but you know, if I was doing that little series I was talking about like so. Then I'll go ahead and clean this brush. After we get it clean, we'll come back up there and do some more blending. Get that sky a little better under control. Make sure it's good and dry. I'll knock the rest of this thinner off on a paper towel over here. Because believe me, you don't want to carry a wet brush back up here. That would be a mess. Alright, start right in the center again. And just start softly blending these colors out. And just work yourself around with those little X strokes. And just blend it like so. And then wash that brush again. These type of paintings will make you an expert brush washer. I'll say that. And the reason I'm taking, I'm washing brushes tonight is because I know a lot of people don't have a bunch of extra brushes laying around. So I just want to kind of show you about, the time it takes if you don't have a bunch of brushes. And I'm going to try not to take a whole night on this one little painting right here. Alright, then we're going to come up here and very lightly, just go across real light and blend these colors real soft to where it takes out the brush strokes, about like so. Then you can knock this paint off the brush and come back up and just soften it on down. And then if that's not looking the way you want it, pick up that little blender that we introduced yesterday and just come up here and just lightly blend around your light and your dark. And this little brush is actually it's pretty handy. I used it yesterday and I couldn't believe how good a job it did do. I was actually shocked. And it cleaned up real good. It wasn't real hard to clean. Alright, then we'll take us a 1-inch brush, and one more time we'll come from the center out. Well, we picked up a lot of little hairs off that brush. Wow, that thing's shedding like a real rabbit. Okay. Alright, just very lightly blend these colors. About like so. Then we can take our finger and get a little titanium white on it. And we come right up here in the center and just give ourselves a little indication of a sun. And come back and just real softly go over it. Just like so. And that should do it. Alright, we will pick us up a fan brush, number 6. And come right up here into some dark sienna. Just a little. Won't take a lot for this. Come up here with just a corner and just start making those little circles. Just little circles. Come across the bottom. Give it some body. And kind of just pull you out a little point across here. I think that's how we did that one yesterday. I can't go back and look at the painting because I killed it. About like that. Then we'll pick up a little more paint. think I brought one from this side in. I think I did. Alright, we'll start with little circles up here again. Just little circles, keep that brush moving. And we'll bring a point across like this, right under our sun. We'll come back out here. Just blend him all the way out until he disappears out here. Not like so. I think we did something like that. I think it was. I hope it was. And then I remember putting a couple little stringer clouds in there. Something about like that, I think it was. I think it was something like that. Don't think we had none up top. But I think when I looked at that video, I think I said I needed one up top. Alright, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll run one. Oh, what kind should we put up here though? Let's just do us a couple little small floaters up here, just to say we got something up here. They don't have to be nothing real elaborate. Just something to, we'll call them little doors. That's what Bob used to call us, the little doors. Just like that. Just to add a little something up there, about like that. Then we'll knock the paint out of this brush with some thinner. Come down here and dab it off on a paper towel. And we'll come up here and we'll pick us up a little white and a little cad yellow. Mix those colors together. Just white and cad yellow on the brush. We'll come up here and we'll give ourselves some brightness in different places along here. Because with that sun being that close, you know it's going to be lighting these clouds up. And we'll come back across here and give ourselves some lightness right in here. I guess you could call them highlights if you wanted to. We just ain't got to get crazy with it. Then we'll drag a little in here. Not that I think these clouds are going to really pick up much, but we don't know their exact location, so they could be picking up a little up there. Alright, we'll make us up a little more color here. A little more yellow and white. We'll come up here on the bottom of these, since the bottom's what's facing the sun. And we'll go across and just add a little flavor in here. About like so, that's all we need. And right in here we'll put a little bit more, like right there, right here, more in a circular motion. Because that straight line ain't gonna look right. Alright, now I'm gonna take my 1-inch brush, clean 1-inch brush, and I'm gonna come up here and just lightly, with little circles, just blend the cloud, just real lightly blend over it, And then do the same here. Just real lightly blend over it. Try not to kill any color, but you know, at least let the colors know that you are blending them. And then do the same here and here. About like so. Then we'll knock out that little bit of color we picked up. And we'll come across and just barely caress them. Just barely caressing. Just barely caressing each cloud. Just so soft. So soft. And then we'll pull these and just set them down into the paint. Like so. About like that. And then up here we'll just fade these on out into nothing. Just like so. Yeah, that don't look too bad at all. Let's see what y'all seeing on the monitor. Yeah, that don't look too bad from what I see right here. Not too bad at all. Okay. Alright, then we will, let's see if I can get this split around here like that. Alright. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a filbert brush and I'm going to go right into the Van Dyke brown here. And I'm going to come over here under this mountain, under this cloud, and I'm going to come in here and just kind of work on getting me a mountain shape up here. About like so. And I can come in here with one, about like so. Drop it down. Come around like so. About like that. And then come over here. Kick out one like that. And bring it on off the canvas. And then with this one right here, I can bring it down and around, about like that. And then over here, come back up with another little peak. That way it'll give some kind of little valley in here to work with. And then bring this down and out. Like so. About like that. Should be about all we need. And we'll knock a little of this paint off. Then we'll come in here and start pulling this color down. Just remember, anytime you're doing a mountain, it's that outside line that you want to worry about the most at first. Then you can always come back in here and work on the body of it. But I wanted to do something up here that wouldn't destroy all the clouds this time and the sky, because I'm telling you, at one point in that painting, that sky was so pretty, and then when I covered it up, I was like, why did I do that? Oh my God. I said, I bet I had people screaming. What are you thinking? Because I was thinking it when I saw it happen. I was like, oh my God, why did I cover that up as pretty as it was? I mean, I think the painting still turned out all right, after I came in and done the little creek in the grass and the trees with the shadows under them. I mean, I'm not saying it was an ugly painting, but I don't know. I could have went a couple different routes with that. Pull all this color out. I just made that mountain grow. Well, we won't have to put that in the series. I just seen that happen. If y'all want to see that, just like I said, leave a comment. If it ain't nothing you'd be interested in, we won't do it. But I know, I'm one of them kind of people. Somebody tells me not to do something, I'm like, why? Show me why I don't want to do it. And then when they show me, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you right. All right, now I want to take my little knife. I guess I could use the big one. I'm gonna use the little one. All right, I'm gonna pick up a little of this white, and I'm gonna pick up just a little of this burnt sienna. And I want to make me a real light tan color. And it don't have to be mixed thoroughly. It can be kind of marbled. All right. Now we see where our sun is. So our sun's gonna be shining here, here, and here. So this is gonna be our bright side. So this will be the side we need to highlight. And we'll come right in here, like so. And we'll start to pull this down, just like so. Just don't forget, you work on that little roll of paint. Anytime you're fiddling with these mountains, you want to have that little roll of paint. Like so. Just come in here and just work it real gentle. And if you don't feel comfortable using the little knife and you want to pick up the bigger one, well, you can do that too. Because once you get used to making that paint break with the big knife, it's harder to do it with the smaller one now. I will say that. I don't know if it's that way for everybody, but it is for me. Because this little one don't have the weight that I'm used to holding. I'll tell you what, I'll pick my big one up. Just be on the safe side. Alright, I'm going to pick up a little of this color. I want to come up here now. On this side. So in order to do that, we're going to have to come around here. Like so. And just let this color break. Then we'll use our small blade. And I figure that light's going to be hitting it about right in here. So we'll come down on this side first. About like that. About like so. And we'll come up here. I figure it's probably gonna come across there at an angle about like that, if I had to guess. Because it's a pretty bright sun. And we'll come in here, bring it out. About like so. I'm going to bring some over this way. Just trying to maintain this, because this is going to create like a little valley in here with them being that far apart. So I'm pretty sure we'll have some sunlight shining down in there. I'm sure of it. And then right in here we'll come in here and bring it on around like so. Then right here it's going to hit all in here, probably a little, not near as much. It's going to catch this one though. Just bring it down. About like so. Let that one be about like that. Then we got our small one out here. We'll just throw some color up here on him. See what happens. Sometimes they matter, sometimes they don't. But we'll throw him in there like that. Alright, now, what do we want to do for our shadow color here? Because we have got to come back and highlight that again. I think, let's see what this Van Dyke Brown and a little yellow ochre would look like as a shadow color. We'll kind of marble mix them a little. And let's just see what that would look like as as a shadow color up here. We'll bring it over here on the small one first. Well, I don't think it looks bad at all. Get a little more yellow ochre in it. Leave it kind of marble mixed. I don't think it looks bad at all as a shadow color. Come in here like so. Pull that down. Like so. Yeah, I think that's going to work out pretty good because we got to come back in here in a few minutes with another highlight color. It's going to have some white and some Indian yellow in it for the brightness. And this is a pretty good dark color here that shows up fairly well. About like so. Probably wouldn't hurt to have a little more ochre in it. Just a little. Now that we're getting over here closer to the sun, we'll come in here and just kind of pull this color out. About like so. Yeah, that color don't look bad at all. Kind of looks natural almost. And we do this side with it. I'll pick us up some more here now. Use this bigger knife here. Just pull this color out like so. Come up here and let it touch over here a little. And funnel down that mountain like so. Yeah, I'm not disappointed in that color at all. Alright, now let's take us some titanium white, a little Indian yellow, and mix us up a good sunshine color. We'll take it more to the white. I don't really want it real bright yellow like that. We'll put just a tad cad yellow in it. Just kind of dull it down some. Makes it good. Don't really want a lot of this color on here. Where did that red come from? Off my fingernail. Are you serious? Look at that. That evil bright red. Alright, well, we'll do something there. We'll fix it. One way or another. Alright, let's sparkle this outside edge here with some of this yellow. Get us a sun that's shining in here pretty good. And now we'll pull this color in and let it work in and darken as it goes down some. That way it's not just sitting there screaming. Because that is a bright color right there. So just have to kind of work it down real gentle. About like so. Just kind of let it blend itself in to where you can still tell it's our sunshine color. Now when we come back with just a little bit of white on top of that, it'll really stand out. All right, we'll pick us up some on our little side now. We'll come up here and just kind of work this down, kind of gentle like. Bring some right through here, about like that. Just a little here and there. We don't want it. We don't want it real yellowy down in this valley, but we want to know that the sun's shining in here. About like so. Then we want to come over here to this one. Touch him and kind of run him on down a little. Here and there. Just enough to have some rough spot, like so. And then just a tad out here on the little baby point. It won't take much at all for him. Just to give him a little, let him play too. All right. I think we're gonna have to put a little bit of, let's see how this would look if we do this. Take just a little raw ochre by itself, come up here and just raw yellow ochre by itself. And touch it like that. That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. We could probably get away. Well, let's use the little knife or the little edge. And come up here and say right in here, do this a little bit, and then maybe through here. Not much, just a couple of places, about like so. Yeah. And then over here, we'll do the same thing. Just a couple of places. That's all we gotta do. Now it's time to bring in a little white. Now this white has got a little yellow in it, but not much. This is pretty much straight titanium white here. And we don't want it everywhere. We just want it in a few places. Just a very few places. Because it is strong. When you go to mixing it with these other colors, it'll stand out. And before you know it, you've got white everywhere. About like that's all we need it to just come in here and sparkle that little bit of yellow just to give it a little bit of sunshine. Then we'll come up here, do the same thing. Maybe on this outside. And then drag a little through here. Just let it break. And maybe over here, just pull out a little. It's like I said, it's not going to take much. Just here and there. And just keep the shape of our little valley out here. Like like so. Then we'll bring just a touch over here on top of this white, on top of that yellow. Just touch it in like so. Ain't gonna take much. And then a little right here. Just a little. About like so. And we'll pick us up just a little bit more ochre and fix this spot. Like that. Then I want to come up here and I want to start fixing this ridge where these meet, so they have the same kind of angle to where it looks like it's supposed to look, because that don't look right with that hanging out there by itself like that. Just bring it in like so. Then we want to come back and get us some white. Come back up here and pull it in from here. Like so. Yeah, there we go. About like that. And then bring that shadow color in. Even if you have to go back and pick up some of the dark shadow color. Bring it up here and touch it. And you can make it in a couple places up here if you need to. Let it lighten up as it goes down. Like so. And I'm gonna say that's not a bad little mountain range at all right there. I think we're kinda good right here. Alright, I'll clean off my knife here. Lay it to the side, and I'll quit piddling right there. And I'll pick up my 1-inch brush, and I'll come up here and just start lightly tapping. It's real light taps right here is all it is. And then knock a little color out. Come right here and just follow these angles, like so. And then follow these angles like so. Just a light tap. Right across here. All through here. Just follow these angles. And then right through here. And all the way out. Just like so. And come through here and just kind of come across and brush this color out. And then very lightly pull that mist back up into the mountain, just to give it that little misty look there. I wonder what that would look like if you brushed over it just real gentle. I almost want to, and I'm almost scared to. Because if it worked, that would be so pretty. But If it don't work, that's gonna be bad. And I don't know if I can do it gentle enough to. Alright, we'll leave it alone for now. We're gonna leave it alone. Alright, I'm gonna pick up a little bit of white. Just a little bit. I'm gonna come up here and create some more mist. I just want a little more mist in here because I got a lot of weird colors going on. And that brown, it made some mist, but it didn't make the same color mist I'm looking for. Just come up here and just tap. Now I'm having to tap kind of lightly because of the way this canvas is fitting into my easel, and I don't want to knock it out, cause a whole lot of problems. All right, now let's pull these colors in. Kind of take out some of the brush strokes. This will give us our mist that we're looking for in our little valley here. Just kind of brush that out a little. Pull that up in there a little. Just a little. Up through here. And then over here. Yeah, about like that's what we're looking for. That's all we need. Yep. Okay. Wow. That's kind of neat. Well, let me see if I can get rid of this red now. Try it with a little white here. There it goes. It's gone. Yep, it's gone. Just like that. Alright, down here I think what I'm going to do while I got a brush that's kind of dingy is I'm just going to come through here and make a shade of yellow. That don't have to be real bright yellow, but you know our sky's got yellow and brown in it, so we kind of need a little yellow down here for our water. And we'll brush it on up into here. I'll bring it over into here. I think just as long as the middle's yellow, we'll be all right. Because we're gonna have a few other things out on the sides, and we don't need a whole lot of paint build up over here. The least amount, the better. About like so. That's about all we should need right there. About like it. Alright, time to wash some brushes. I gotta figure out what kind of tree line we want to do across there. You know, I have got that little sable brush that might do a pretty good job of smoothing some of that down. I think we better leave it alone. We better leave it alone. We're gonna come up here and messed up some stuff, and we don't need to do that. It's not looking bad right now. I kind of like the dark brown that kind of got mixed in with that sap green a little. Right in there, that color looks kind of funky. I hope y'all can see it, because I mean it almost looks eerie, kind of like there's a bad storm coming or something. think I'm going to wash the 2-inch brush right now. I don't think I'm going to need it for a little while. Or it may not need it the rest of this painting, but got to figure out what kind of tree line we want to put along this bottom here. I think I pretty much know what I'm going to do. I think it'll look good. Because it's going to have to look distant. So I'm going to take the oval brush, the round brush, and I'm going to come right up here to the color that we was using for our highlight, that white and dark sienna and that little bit of yellow. And I'm gonna bring a little dark sienna over and tap into that color. And that color will subdue it some. It'll knock it down some. And I'm gonna just tap my round brush right into it. Then I'll come right up here. And I'll just start tapping across here. I'll stay under the mist in places, and then I'll come up in other places. You just don't want to cover up all this mist. Gotta leave some of it. That's our separator. But we can have kind of tall trees and kind of short trees, and they don't all have to be the same. We can come up here into our little valley with a taller one. Come back under our mist just to let you know it's there. Just like so. Just tap this color in. And it'll still give us that illusion of far off across here. And we can come up with a little taller one over in here, about like so. And then just right in here. Because we know we're going to have some taller on the sides over here. We already know that. We always do. So we'll leave these we'll leave them kind of neutral for now. But see how we left some of that. I wonder if I can zoom in on that to show you. Let's see how it does that. See right here where I zoomed in? See right here, you can see that mist through these trees. Let me zoom back out now. Yeah, I picked up this little program on my phone that will allow me to operate my camera from my phone. Well, I say operate, it'll do a couple things. It won't do everything, but whoa. See, I'm gonna have y'all drunk. Y'all gonna be drunk for this painting's over. I'm sitting here just pushing buttons. Wow. Look at that. There we go. But the only thing is I'm having to look through the phone screen, and it's so tiny. I mean, it's just, I can't really tell what you guys are seeing until it goes to TV. All right, let's see how we want to do this. I think what I'm going to do I'm gonna get my script liner brush and I'm gonna come right up here into this Van Dyke brown and get just a little of it on the brush. It won't take much to do this. And I'm gonna just come in here and add a few trunks here and there. They don't have to be a lot of detail in them. I just want you to know they're back here. Like so. Just here and there. Because I know a lot of people say you're not supposed to highlight these trees. But I've got an artist license that says I can highlight my trees. And you got an artist license that says you can highlight your trees too. So, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I think we're to highlight these trees. Because I think it'd be pretty. They don't have to be lit up back here, but you know, we can put a little flavor on. And I think that's what we're gonna do. Because this right here, this sun shining down here, you know good and well, at least these trees that's catching it through this valley right here, you know them trees gonna have some sunlight on them. So with that being said, you know, let's go ahead and mix us up a sunshine color here. Now, it ain't to say that we got to come up here and set them on fire. You know, we can do a real light. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll use the corner or the edge. We'll do that. We'll come up here and do just a real light highlight. It don't have to be crazy. You know, just something to add a little flavor back here. Just to say, hey, that sun's shining pretty bright back there. I mean, look how highlighted our mountain is. So, I mean, if it's got that mountain lit up like it, you know it's gonna do a little something on these trees. A little. That may not come behind this mountain and get on these, but these are sitting here at the base of that valley. They're gonna get some sun. And then this one right here is probably gonna catch a little bit, I would think. About like that. But see what it does to those trunks. It just pushes them on down in the paint. All right, and then over here, this one may catch a little, like so. He probably ain't gonna catch much, and then this one probably ain't gonna catch much. Not like that. And then these that don't catch a whole lot, we'll put a little green on there for them. Just to let them have a little darkness to them. About like so. But even at that, we don't have to come up here and add so much highlight that, you know, everything is prominent back here. Or just, you know, has a whole lot of detail. We just want a little something just standing out here and there, you know. Something that just says it's back here. That's all we're looking for. And then down at the bottom of these trees, if there's a little darkness, you know, oh well, that's a good thing. That's about all we need to do, just like that. Just mix these colors up a little. Just add a little flavor in there, just to make it look like this color was green, but you know, it's mixed up in there with a bunch of other things. And the light's shining on what's sticking up out of there. And we still got our mess behind them, so We're in good shape. Alright, now we will have to take that 2-inch brush and wash it for this next step. But we can do that. I'm really starting to like that sky. It's it's different. I just think we're gonna cover some of that up when we come up with our trees. Oh well, it won't be like what we did yesterday. Yesterday killed all them clouds and that hurt. Because them clouds were pretty in that painting. Alright, I'm going to come up here and get a little of this color. Then I'm going to come right here. Come right up here and we're going to pull straight down. Pull straight down across here. Straight down. Real gentle. Just come up here and pull straight down. Straight down. Just like so. Just like that. You want to knock some of that paint out. I want to come across here real gentle. Real gentle. And give that instant reflection right across there. Just instant reflection. Just like so. Then I'll take my little knife and I will come under the Van Dyke Brown, or come into the Van Dyke Brown. Get me just a little roll. And I'll come up here and I'll touch across, all the way across like so. Now all I'm doing right here is touching. I'm not pulling the paint in any direction. I'm just touching and pulling right back off the canvas. Just letting the canvas take what it wants. That's all I'm doing. Just like so. That's it. Just a real light touch. And I'm trying to stay as straight across here as I can to follow my separation that we just made with the reflections here. But just like so. That's all I'm doing. Just like that. And then I can come back and pick up just a little bit of that highlight color we was using earlier. And it will not take much of this color at all. Because I just want it in a few places up here. Just to kind of give us a kind of a highlight, but also at the same time kind of give us a little rocky look over here. Kind of like a rocky type bank. Because we're fixing to come back with a water line. And when we put our water line up here, it'll make all this stand out, every bit of it. Just like that. Should give us a pretty decent looking little bank over there. Then we'll come in and pull us out some white, maybe a little yellow in it. And this is our brightest spot, so we're going to come right here with it. Right in here with this water line. And just kind of work ourselves off. On down the line here. About like so. And then right in there where it didn't get none, we'll come right back up here and just add us a little. Just like so. And if that looks like it's kind of muddy back in there, well that's just a bonus, because them two browns mixing back here along this bank, giving it that muddy look. It'll just look like the bank's kind of yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, even though I don't. It'll just make it look like it's kind of muddy back here. Not like so. And just work that all the way out. Just like that. And if you wanted to get you a little bit of paint on there, and then come out in here and give yourself a couple little ripples here and there, well, you can do that too. Just like so. Alright, now we want to pick up another 1-inch brush, and we'll come right up here into some dark sienna, just like so. And I want to start right here. Let me hold on to this. I want to start right here and just work my way up. Kind of give myself a straight line across here. And I want to stay out of that cloud. And just kind of kick that over a little. And then just come down to about right in here. And then just kind of bring this over. About like so. Kick me out a couple little trees right in here. About like so. About all I need. Yep. Alright, and then pick me up a little more. Then I want to come over here on this side. And I want to come straight up. Like so. On this side. And I want to kick out little tree shape, about like so. I'm going to bring this on down. About like so. Because all this can be bushes and whatever it needs to be, that's what we'll make it. I'm going to just bring this on down and around. All the way down to the bottom. And then just come out through here. And kick that right off the bottom like so. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to let all this join up right through here. Just like so. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That'll work. Alright. Now it's time to highlight. And I think we're going to do these highlights with the little oval brush. But first thing we got to do is let's put some limbs up here. So we got to get some thinner. Come into this color. Get it kind of thinned out. I'm going to come over here with us a trunk on this side. A couple limbs. Like so. Then we'll do the same on this side. Like so. And we can have a couple of these with limbs in them. Bring this one on out. Kind of just have it doing its own thing out here. Until we come back with some highlights on it. And then we'll bring one over here and all through here. About like so. Yep, that'll work. Then we'll wash our script liner brush. And that gave us just enough lake to see out there. Just to know it's a lake. And just to see our reflection in our water. And our mountain looks good. And we'll pick us up just a little bit of thinner right there. We'll come right up here into the yellow first. Because that's the first color I want to use, is yellow and a little yellow ochre. That is the first colors I want. And I want this tree to be gold looking. I want it to have golden leaves. I just think that'd be a pretty tree. That'd be a real pretty tree. Make sure them bristles are open. Because if them bristles ain't open, you know what that'll do? It will add. I'm going to turn this around. Maybe you can see it when I add them to it. Maybe about like this. How's that? Yeah. Alright, I'm going to come up here with just the corner of that brush and touch. It's just a light touch. Very light. See that? Very light touch. Just touching the outside edge first. Getting my roundness done. And then I want to come in under this color and save me a little dark. Always got to save that little dark under there. And then bring this color on around. And this is a very light touch, I'm telling you. And if we do that, you know, if we end up doing that little series I'm talking about doing, I'll show you what it means to come up here with too much of a touch. How it'll just smear on you. And what all's involved in going back to fix that. Because that kind of information will help you not only understand the amount of pressure you got to use, but it'll also give you the knowledge of how to fix a mistake or a happy accident when you do have one. Because it happens. I mean, you paint long enough, it's going to happen. And if somebody told me they had never done it, I don't know that I believe them. I really don't. All I know is if they haven't, they're a real good painter. Alright, we're going to load this brush up with this color again. And I'm going to pick another area. I'm going to say right in here. That'll give us enough room to get away from him. Alright, and we'll come up here and just barely touch. Just barely touch. This is such a delicate touch right here. Just make sure you maintain that tree shape. even though we don't have a tree defined here. In our mind, we know we're making trees, so just tap it on in a tree shape, you know, just. But then as it goes further down, it's just gonna disappear in the dark, and that's fine when it does that. I mean, there's no controlling that. That's just nature. All right, then we'll come over here. Let's say about right here on this one. We'll come across his trunk, because we know this is gonna be a pretty tall tree, but I figured what we can do is just kind of close him in down here with just like so. And when it gets down here, just let it go on off into the dark. Just like so. Alright, we'll pick up just a tick more thinner this time. And I think what would be real pretty over yonder, on that far outside. Let me get this mixed a little better here. Put a little red in it. That red will knock that green down some. That'll tone it down. Yeah, here we go. Alright, let's with all these colors over here, pull it up here where you can see it. With all these colors over here, I think this would be real pretty if we bring this green in with all these darks and all these other colors. I think that green would stand out real pretty over here on this side. Especially up against this brown on this mountain right here. About like so. Now, anytime you got a trunk in a tree and you want to paint over that trunk, but the paint's not going over it, the reason most of the time for that is you got thinner in your trunk. You know, because when you bring that thinner up here, I mean that trunk up here, that color, you already thinned it down to an ink consistency with thinner. And a thick paint don't stick to a thin paint. That's not the golden rule. The golden rule is thin paint sticks to a thick paint. So you kind of have to get that. Whatever color it is you're trying to go over that trunk with. You just kind of have to get it a little thinner in that area, just to go over it. And the reason you want it to go over it is because it gives you that illusion that you've got limbs sticking out towards you. All right, now I'm gonna get a little bit brighter yellow, the Indian yellow and white mix, along with the green. And we'll come over here on this side, and we'll probably put in a little firecracker over here. That ain't too terrible. It's kind of pretty. Just a light green. Just to add a little flavor to it. About like so. Just whenever you're doing leaves, just, always keep in the back of your mind that you got to have these bristles open. Because if you don't have these bristles open, it's not going to work. I don't think a green one would be real ugly in the middle here. All right, let's do this. Let's get us a little sap green by itself, and a little more white. Make sure your bristle's good and open. We'll come right in here, like so. And this will be kind of a washed out green. And just leave us some darks as we go down. Just leave yourself some darks. And then let it fade out into nothing down here. Just like so.